The Endgame has just ended. And what are my thoughts? With a snap of my fingers, my review shall begin. Avengers Endgame, directed once again by Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, the best MCU directors, and is the 22nd installment in the MCU overall, as well as the fourth and final movie in the Avengers quadrilogy. So Avengers Endgame tells the story taking place after the apocalyptic events of Infinity War, where 50% of all existence has been decimated by Thanos after the Avengers defeat and Thanos' victory in Infinity War. The surviving Avengers come up with a strategy with the help of Captain Marvel to kill Thanos and get the Infinity Stones back to resurrect their fallen heroes, but sadly Thanos has destroyed the stones before they can do this. So once Ant-Man enters the picture, luckily his quantum realm comes in handy. They can travel through time with the quantum realm to grab the Infinity Stones in some of the previous MCU movies before Thanos can get them. They can undo the damage Thanos did, though the past version of Thanos, who is still looking for the Infinity Stones, will get in their way. Now, this movie will be, without a shadow of a doubt, the largest movie of 2019, and it's the most anticipated and movie of 2019 for the majority. Endgame had mammoth shoes to fill, and not just by being a satisfying second part to Infinity War, but also concluding the Avengers storyline and the majority of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general. And does Endgame live up to all the extreme hype? My apologies for the delay with this review, but I have finally seen Endgame with my mum today, and wow, our reaction was just wow. Now I like Infinity War better than I did in my initial review, and it is off my most disappointing 2018 list. Now I like Infinity War better now that I see the movie it led to, and I do see why this is a two-part story now. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a perfect movie. Please don't hurt me, MCU fans. But it is still a epically an emotional, satisfying conclusion to the Avengers. It's still one of my very favourites in the MCU, and it's certainly on when you judge it by scale, the most epic and ambitious superhero movie ever made. Period. There's no superhero movie longer or larger than Endgame. So let me get immediately to my positives. I'd say this is on par with Infinity War, as both act as a 5-hour epic Marvel version of Return of the King conclusion. This movie concludes the storylines of each of the Avengers perfectly. Every single resolution for the Avengers, well, the majority. I will get to my gripes, but for the most part, I cried with satisfaction at how the Avengers storyline was resolved. I was so pleased that Steve slash Captain America got to go back and dance with Peggy. I was so pleased that Thor got to be a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I was so pleased that the majority of the characters that we lost in Infinity War came back to life, and they each had their lives back. And the don't expect this to be Thanos' movie like Infinity War was. He certainly has less screen time here. And one of my predictions for Infinity War came true, literally, because the character that has by far the most poignant and emotional send-off is Iron Man slash Tony Stark. Rest in peace, Buzzy. And his funeral was such a beautiful tribute to him. This couldn't have wrapped up Tony's journey in the MCU any better. And Tony's and Pepper's daughter Morgan, she was adorable. She and Tony would be like, I love you 1 in 3,000, and some Avengers that I didn't care for in the previous MCU movies, now I adore, especially Hawkeye. In the opening we see his family are sadly victims of Thanos, and he's killing dudes in Japan to take away the pain of losing his family. So you are really, you're rooting for him to get his family back, and Nebula, she is awesome in this movie. There is one, she defeats the evil past version of herself. Thankfully the good present day Nebula did change her for the better. She did become handy being Thanos' adoptive daughter, so she had all the information the Avengers needed to know. And Carol Danvers slash Captain Marvel herself, my personal favourite Avenger. Everything they did with her in this movie, I rate an A star. Well, sadly, she isn't in the movie nearly as I would have wanted. But the moments she has were my absolute favourite, especially in the final battle where she flies and slices through Thanos' ship so easily. I was like, yes, that's my girl. And this was a different structured movie to what I was predicting. I didn't think it would be a time travel story, but the quantum realm worked in its favor. This is the greatest time travel movie since Back to the Future, and they do mention Back to the Future. Yeah, and if only Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and Hawkeye were in Infinity War, because then Thanos wouldn't have succeeded if they were. And it was awesome to go back in time to the Battle of New York and the Avengers to Asgard and For the Dark World, and even to Voltmere, where Star-Lord is in the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, you need to see every MCU movie ever before you see EndGame to keep up to date. And even though of all the MCU movies, this is the darkest, especially the final battle gets extremely intense, but there is still plenty of classic MCU humour here, especially with Hulk. Bruce Banner has found a way to stay in Hulk form yet keep his Bruce Banner personality, and the plot goes in majorly unexpected directions to the point where you go, holy shit, didn't see that coming. Like, they kill Thanos off in the first 10 minutes alone, when Thor decapitates his head. I was like, what? Yeah, me and Mum were like, that was easy, but there's still 2 hours and 50 minutes of movie left. But thankfully they do bring back the past Thanos, the past bad Nebula. She helps the past Thanos come to the present for the final battle. And the final battle of Endgame, it is the freaking bomb. It is mind-blowing, dethroning even the Wakanda battle in Infinity War as my favourite MCU battle. Let me explain why Infinity War, for me personally, isn't the 100% perfect supreme god of Marvel as the MCU fans are making it out to be. I have heard everybody praise the 3-hour runtime, saying the 3-hour running time was perfect. I never felt it, but I'm sorry. Me and my mum were like, this running time is a stretch. I mean, have the movie just be 2.5 hours, the length of Infinity War, and that would be fine. But there were several youngsters in my screening, and they'd be bored to sit for a 3-hour movie. And also my mum, she needed a bathroom break during the final battle of the movie. Thankfully she was rapid and she didn't miss a thing, but yeah, I by the credits, I was ready for a bathroom break. The first act of this movie is the one part that does drag for me. There is so little action in it. It is granted that we did need to know that the Avengers they are mourning the loss of their loved ones, but still, we don't need the entire first hour of the movie to know that. So they could have got to the time travel storyline faster, and also they kill off Black Widow in this movie. Why? But she hasn't even had her own solo movie yet. What did I say in my Endgame predictions video? Don't kill off any hero that is still yet to have their solo movie. And Black Widow, she didn't get to see the final battle, and she should have. There is a great girl power moment when all these strong women of the MCU do a team up and they are slaying Thanos' troops. But Black Widow should have been one of them. And finally, how come some characters couldn't be brought back to life, even though they had the Infinity Stones? And they even had Shuri from Black Panther. They could have easily have fixed that. How come Iron Man and Black Widow and Gamora couldn't come back to life, but the others could? I'm sorry, but the Russo brothers didn't explain that. Even with my nitpicking, Endgame is still great, and even if How to Train Your Dragon 3 The Hidden World is still the best movie of 2019, I cried harder at The Hidden World's ending than I did at Endgame's ending, in all honesty, and I also like Captain Marvel better. Captain Marvel's still my favourite MCU movie. Oh boy, that's the most unpopular opinion in the universe, but film is subjective, and I would totally recommend to get your ass into a movie screening to check out Endgame as soon as possible, as this movie is sweeping the freaking floor in terms of box office records. I give Avengers Endgame 4 stars out of 5. Great movie. What a conclusion Endgame is. So much so, I would be okay if the MCU ended here. To me, Far From Home and Guardians Volume 3, they are all unnecessary. I doubt they will be as huge or even have the impact that Endgame will, but but I could be wrong. We'll see. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of Endgame? I'm sure everybody is going to rave about it in the comments section. Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And stay tuned for my updated MCU ranking. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.